and breaching the Capitol. Well, this trial only held accountable half of that military stack. The other half of that stack, other oath keepers, are coming up in their seditious conspiracy trial. And whereas I think it's going to stiffen the spine of the prosecutors, I think it's going to weaken the spine of all of the other defendants, the oath keepers and the Proud Boys, who are pending their own seditious conspiracy trials. My hope is that some of them will rethink the wisdom of going to trial now that some of their comrades have been convicted. Perhaps they'll enter guilty pleas. Perhaps those guilty pleas will even come with cooperation, which will help the prosecutors continue to build cases against others.
Luke, comes as no surprise, the committee chairs of the January 6th committee called the verdict a victory for the rule of law. I want to share specifically Adam Schiff's take.
In terms of whether the jury verdict itself changes our thinking, I think it really doesn't change our thinking so much as validate exactly what we've been presenting to the country. This wasn't some kind of spontaneous riot getting out of control or people being swept away by emotion. This just highlights how premeditated it was.
Does this trial, Luke, affect in any way what the committee's doing right now?
I think it bolsters what the committee's doing. The January 6th committee, many months, has put out to the public that this was an organized conspiracy to overturn an election. And when their arguments have been tried in court, they have been successful. I mean, we saw many months ago in a civil case, a judge say that Donald Trump and John Eastman were more likely than not guilty of two federal felonies, conspiring to defraud the American people as one of them. And now we see it tested in a criminal case against the Oath Keepers, in which, again, a conspiracy is alleged and a conspiracy is found. So, just what Adam Schiff was saying in that clip, there's been this long argument about, was this just a riot that got out of control? Was it a spontaneous thing that just sort of popped off one day? Or was this part of a more deliberate plan? And we're seeing courts now and juries say, yes, this was a deliberate plan and people should go to jail for it.
So you can hear it there, a really good rundown about how this is all a conspiracy, and it really shows that it wasn't simply an ad hoc thing. It wasn't simply 2 or 3 people, or even a few dozen people each doing their own little thing, but it was a systematized effort. And keep in mind what they noted at the end there, that in a similar case, dealing more with the documents and dealing more with the constitutional side, a judge has already ruled. We've known this for months now. Right? I was one of the first people to cover it, but we all know it by now. Well, judges said, more likely than not, Donald Trump and at least one of his lawyers engaged in criminal activity, one of which might be a conspiracy against the government. A conspiracy just like some Trump thugs were convicted of. And so all of this is getting ears perked up. And right about now, you're seeing the narrative flip. Not fully yet, but it's clearly underway, where what Republicans are trying to say, nice, respectable Republicans in the media are trying to say is, look, Donald Trump's in the past. He's gone too far. The Fuentes thing, all of that, it shows that we need something new. We can return to what we used to be. If we get rid of Trump, everything will be fine. But that's not how it's going to go down. And it led to a pretty epic moment.
He used to be in charge of this party, so you know what it means when